no regret, without no regret. You got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 62. And yeah, just before we get into what we was going to get into, which is obviously talk about the Huddersfield game, and then obviously previewing the game tomorrow against West Brom. I forgot who we had for a second. Obviously, there's a couple of things that come out today regarding our club or regarding former players anyway. So I want to talk about them and get my dad's thoughts on them. But like always, join with my dad, of course. How are you, Dad?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm all right. But yeah, like I said, there's a few things I want to talk about. And the first one is Jake Howes has come out today and said he's retired. Obviously, used to play for Luton back in the day. And I don't think we've said this story on here before yet, have we, Dad? Where we literally saw him, where I live.
I don't think we have.
No. Do you want to tell him the story?
You tell it from your memory or whatever, and then I'll add to it. If
All right. So obviously, I was pretty young. Can't remember how old I was exactly, but like I said, obviously it's when he used to play for Luton and that sort of thing. And just literally in the shops over the road. Still live in the same place now. And obviously, I know he was born in that area or in the area, so I knew he still lived there. And obviously, it's not far from Luton, that sort of thing. And I remember my dad like recognising him, going, "Are you Jake Howes?" And he was basically like, yeah. And then he's like, "Good luck for the rest of the season." And then he was like, "We're going to need it." And that was when we were struggling in the conference, I believe. It was them days there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty mad.
Yeah, I believe it was the players that we'd signed and the manager I don't know if it was Paul Buckle or something like that. It was, do you know what I mean? And like, it was just a weird thing to hear from a Luton player. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Shook his hand and that. Good luck for the season. He went, yeah, we're going to need it. And I was thinking, what?
Yeah.
I was shocked. So I was like, what? I know. Obviously, he scored a couple of good goals for us over the years. Then he ended up playing for his hometown club, Hemel. We watched him a couple of times there. I think you met him there as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a picture of him. If you follow me on the socials, I'll get it up quickly. I'll put a picture of him.
He was a youngster coming through. He was like a left wing back kind of thing.
Yes.
And he was quite decent, But I think I don't know. I think he went when Nathan Jones come in, possibly, or like in League Two, or it was John Steele. We let him go, but I'm thinking it might have been Nathan Jones, and he was still quite young then. And I can't even remember where he went after that. Like at first, I think he dropped down the leagues, but yeah, he was always a good guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed watching him. He was quite popular with the fans. And yeah, it's just sad really that he's retiring now and that, because he had a lot of potential, Jake, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, are you Jake Howes?
Yeah, that was class. We always go on about
that.
Yeah. Bannering around and that sort of thing. But yeah, let me just share the screen quickly. And if you actually have a look at his Instagram, by the way, it says requested because it's my T-Boys TV one. He's following him. He's let me anyway. Obviously, he's got picture of him at Luton. So there you go. That's his profile picture and that sort of thing. And yeah, let me just get. Obviously, I have to switch to my other account, so let me just do that quickly. But I just want to read, what was said. And obviously read it out on here. So bear with me a second while I do that. Right, so there it is. Well, there we go. And got some another load of breaking news that could be happening, which I'm sure a lot of you will be gassed about that as well. And I'm sure you will be as well, Dad. I haven't even told you this. But just quickly, so this is what he said. Obviously, the main sort of thing that come out from this was I was lucky enough to live my childhood dream. He says, with a heavy heart, I've decided to hang up the boots after an amazing football journey. Plenty of memories on and off the pitch, and I was lucky enough to meet lifelong where was I? Friends along the way. Special thanks to the Luton fans. From the minute I made my debut, they've always supported me, and I'll always be grateful for that. I was lucky enough to live my childhood dream and become a professional footballer and have my name on the back of my shirt. To go on and play over 500 career appearances. My proudest moment being my professional debut for Luton at 17, and that's what we mean with the potential as well. You know, is that, you know, obviously debut for Luton at 17, you know, and my greatest honour was to represent my country. It's now time for me to call it a day. After all of the commitment over the many years, my priority is now time with my family, friends, and my career. I'm proud to have played in the best stadiums and against the best players across the leagues. And he says it's time to say goodbye to my playing days, with my career in the business side of football only just beginning. So, from the sounds of that, Dad, and I want to know if you think he can do it. I think he's got massive potential to do it. Do you reckon he could be in and around, you know, being a football coach or something like that?
Well, yeah, but what's he saying at the end?
So he basically said it's goodbye to his playing days, but he's, you know, he's
The business side.
Yeah, basically. Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't get my words out.
Be a whole range of things, you know. I guess coaching, managing, like owning a club or something, you know. Who knows? Like, I don't know. Be interesting to see what happens. I'll keep an eye on him. Obviously, still going to follow.
Yeah.
Socials and that, see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting. Good luck to him and anything he's looking to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, if you look to the right, see me comment. Like I say, I'll put that in my story as well. The picture I've got with him. I remember when I actually got that picture of him, Dad. I think I told you, but I don't know if you remember me telling you. I said, I mentioned where me and you saw him, and obviously I was quite younger, and he's like, oh really? Like that's cool, basically. Like that was good, man. I always
he was getting a drink money from the niece or something.
Yeah,
whatever it was then.
Yeah. But yeah, big up to him, and obviously all the best. Like I've said on the socials. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that on here because obviously, you know, former Luton player and that sort of thing. And then the last thing I want to talk about before we get into, you know, the other sort of things. Now, current players now at Luton, fully deserved. I think you know what I'm about to say, Dad. This guy here. Let me just share the screen again. This guy here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. He's been named Sky Bet Championship Player of the Month.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen that, yeah. Well deserved, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? He's been involved in every game, scored goals, like pretty much every game, or assists. Looking like a quality player. It can only get better for him, and I don't think that's the first time he's going to win it this year. You know, who knows? Who knows? It could end up being. If he carries on the way he's going, I know it's still early days, but judging by how he's played for the first, you know, few games, then he's got a shot of being in like potentially team of the year at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, we said at some point. Go on.
It's not just like his performance levels; it's the way he's settled into Luton for me.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? He's got no ego. Do you know what I mean? He's hungry. He's do you know what I mean? He's feisty. Like he's got everything he wants for a Luton player. I'm really pleased, and they know what they're doing. See?
Yeah, exactly. And that was literally what I was about to touch on. You know, we knew it ourselves. You know, matter of time, the money would look well spent, and as of now, that is what it's doing. You know, every game he's playing a part. Obviously, I'll say more on the game we just had, in a minute. But even then didn't score, but still a massive part of that game. Still doing really well. Yet again, continuing his form, and hence why he got in Player of the Week. Obviously, 4 of our players got in Player of the Week as well. I won't go on to that because it's just one of them. But yeah, that was brilliant to see, and we didn't even win the game. What does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? So, and it weren't even just attackers either. Bree, got it as well. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about them 2 things. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, I'll mention that at the end. But yeah, let's go through some comments. There's been quite a lot of comments. Big up everyone. Stephen says, big up Ty, common you Hatters. Super Morris, Player of the Month. Love Jake, sad to see you retire. Yeah, no, absolutely. But, from judging for what he said, he's still be in and around football. And like we said, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on what he's going to do. Met Jake at Aylesbury United a few times. Yeah. He was in and around this area when he wasn't playing for Luton as well. Big up Hanno, he says, yes. Big up yourself, mate. And yeah, but let's get into what we, the first major thing we're going to talk about. And that is the Huddersfield game. Obviously, I went to it. I had a feeling it was going to be a draw going into it. We've drawn a lot of them recently. It's usually been 1-1 draws. And obviously, we haven't beaten for a while. So I just had that feeling, even though we was on very good form, obviously they, weren't on such great form either, going into it. But I just had that feeling, obviously, that it turned out to be a draw. Lineup. Now, they've actually got it right, back-to-back on flash scores for once. So obviously it's Ethan in goal. Obviously, Bree was the right-sided centre-back alongside Lockyer and Potts. And then Fred was obviously above Bree, and then Bell was on the left-hand side. Then it was Campbell, Lansbury, and then ahead of them was obviously Clark. And then the 2 up top was obviously Morris and Adebayo. Going into the game, first half was a very good first half to watch. Like I said on the vlog, it literally had everything to it except a red card. Obviously, then it did towards the end of the game. But obviously, their goal, the first set piece goal we conceded from a corner. It was it's a bit of a disappointing one to concede. It's, in a lot of times last year, I remember we was at times very questionable from set pieces. It hasn't really been the case, I would say, this season up until this game. It was more second balls. What did you make of that first goal they got?
It's just a freak goal, really, for me. Like, you bent it in, and it just it proper curved, and it just, everyone was like, what? And it skimmed off of Morris's head, I think. You know what I mean? So he's even doing them favours. You know what I'm saying? It's that good, but it was just unlucky, man. Really. It's easy to if we'd have won the game and that's the only set piece goal we'd have conceded, people wouldn't have really been saying that much about it. Do you know what I mean? For me, so like you said, it's just that like you had a feeling, kind of, and that kind of set a precedent, I think. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, what? How did that go in? Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't a proper deflection, was it? It just sort of hit him on the way through. It looked like it was going in anyway. It's a freaky shot, wasn't it? Really, obviously didn't end it, but yeah, that's what I thought about it. Disappointing.
Yeah,
but I wasn't, thinking, I was still confident, basically.
Yeah, no, I don't think, we're going to lose this game now. I weren't like that. But I didn't even ask you. I completely forgot to ask you your thoughts on the lineup. Obviously, let me go through the bench as well. Yeah. Obviously, the bench was Bradley, Cornick, Doherty, Eisted, Nelson, and Petit, and then obviously Ruddock's, been back, and obviously he was on the bench. Nelson and Petit, two youngsters. I don't really know too much about Nelson. I believe he's one of the strikers. And then as for Petit, I know quite a bit about him because he's like one of the standouts in the development squad out of the youngsters. But yeah, what did you make when you saw the lineup?
I was a bit surprised as Fred, like we put Bree there. I thought Osho might have started there, or even Bradley, because Bradley was on the bench. I was a bit surprised about that, and I was a little bit surprised about the youngsters on the bench, but I think it's because other players had took knocks and stuff, or they, but obviously not playing. Who else? Woodrow, I think, has got a knock.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, we'll get onto that in a bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I see Steve talking about
it. Obviously, the thing is, Luton don't always come out just before a game. Go, oh, so and so's injured. You don't find out really.
No,
that's the thing. So it's just kind of guesswork. So yeah, you're going to be surprised. But other than that, lineup was decent, and so it proved really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Excuse me, but obviously they went 1-0 up, like we said, and then shortly after, Elijah Adebayo. Now, I kept saying week after week, this is where I believe he'll score. This game, I said it in my chest. I said, he'd scored a goal. Obviously, I did say 1-1, but I just had the feeling this was finally going to be the one. How close he was getting. Look at the whole game, and it was similar in that sense where, most people saying his goal. I'm going to say it's his goal because he worked so hard and, he got the shot on at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to say it was his goal, and obviously the saying on here it was. What a turn that was by him, by the way. What a turn that was. And he just, like we kept saying week after week, he needed that one bit of confidence, that one goal, and bosh, confidence shot up. Brilliant to see him smiling again. The way obviously I knew the players would do this. I said it on the vlog, but the way they all come together as well was brilliant. And brilliant to see him get off the mark. And Morris, like we said, didn't quite score in this game, but still played a massive part, got an assist here. What did you make of the goal, Dad?
Yeah, it was a great finish. Like, still had to. It was a good pass, but he still had a bit to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, say the turn and stuff, the touches in the box. He's getting up to Premier League quality with that serious, close control. And obviously that's why bigger clubs were looking at him, and probably will do again if he carries on like that. But it's a great finish. Really, to keep. It was questionable whether it is known goal, but I think it was going in anyway. The defender tried to clear it anyway, but he didn't. It was already kind of in or whatever. I can't remember. Did it come off the keeper or something first?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was very scrappy, but that's it. Because he took on the shot.
That's normally what happens when you ain't scored for ages. You score a scrappy goal, like the goal against Hull, class out.
Yeah.
And that's it. That he'll be scoring a lot now. But yeah, that was just really play. And then we come back within 7 minutes or whatever it was. After that, we've got the fighting spirit. Come at us, we'll come at you, kind of thing. And I knew, So yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then a bit later on in the half, Huddersfield had another corner. They got a penalty. What did you make of the penalty? Because I'm hearing a lot of 50-50 stuff.
I couldn't see it.
No, I've tried looking at it in the highlights because obviously it's different sides.
Highlights, even in the highlight, I couldn't really see it. I mean, if you had VAR or the slow replays there when on the Sky cameras and that, then you probably would have seen it. But I think it was just he kicked it. Yeah, he had his arm out. It's just that's the rules now, isn't it? Normally that wouldn't have been going. I thought, we would go again. Do you know what I mean? And again, it's like we should have cleared it. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, I just think it is unlucky, to be honest with you. And I thought Ethan. I don't know. That's the first penalty we've seen him against, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
And I thought, obviously Rhodes is a good player, good striker, seasoned. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of experience, and obviously just done him he tried to go down the centre kind of thing. But it is what it is. Again, annoyed. but still confident.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, yeah, they took the lead again. And then shortly after, Elijah again. Now, what I will say about this goal, the way he went forward was brilliant. The way he got past their players and a nice little finish. The celebration, loved it. Obviously right in front of me. And again, it leads back to what you said about the fight back. Especially at home, we do tend to have that, majority of the time. And obviously that's what happened there. Brilliant goal by him yet again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But that guy who he's up against is a Man City defender on loan from Man City, and a few Huddersfield saying it was a poor performance from him. But you know what?
Yeah.
I just think that Elijah done him twice, and then Clark done him the third time. But Elijah's that good in the area, he would have probably still done him anyway. Like even if he had, do you know what I mean? If he had a bit more experience or whatever, in my opinion, I think it's sort of taking a bit away from our players because he's young and that, but if he's been playing for Man City, so he must have some ability about him, at least at championship level. I just think that Elijah's that good in the area that he'd do that to even Premier League defenders, mate. So that's what I'd like to point out on that.
Yeah.
So it was a great trickery. It's close control. And the finishing is so good as well now. But when he first, came to us, it was good, but not that good.
No, absolutely.
Very clinical. 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean? He's just getting better and better. And he ain't even scored any headed goals yet, and he was good at that as well.
Yeah. No, facts. But yeah, moving on. Then we finally took the lead. Like you mentioned, Clark, brilliant goal by him. And what I will say in that, Bree, absolutely phenomenal. The way he won the ball, the way he turned their player and then skilled up another player. The pass, he did sort of get away with it, but it still worked out. That's going to happen at points. And then Clark, what a turn. Bosh, what a finish. Brilliant by them too. And keep Nichols. You got a touch, mate, but not enough. Yeah. Boom. 3-2. Jordan Clark. And for me, he was always going to score in that game because he had a lot of good chances in that first half.
Just before that, didn't he have a
that volley where Nichols saved it. There was
stuff.
another time in the first half. Obviously, it's all on the vlog where he put it just wide. He was having chances. He had a very good game. And obviously, when we get into who we think was the best player later, he's definitely one of them that was up there, 100%. But wicked goal by him and put us in the lead. Brilliant. Like you said, is there any additional thoughts you want to say on that goal?
Yeah, I like the way Bree run forward, like similar to Burke the other day. I think they're doing that in training. And as I said before, but obviously you're not going to do it every game because they'll look to exploit that if you do it. Do you know what I mean? And unless we're getting people to cover straight away, as soon as he goes forward, Bosch gets someone to cover him, then counter that a little bit. But it was a good pass. Yeah, it took a deflection off of that guy, the Man City defender. But Jordan still had a lot to do. So he switched it from his right foot to his left foot and then just drilled it in. Good finish. Knew exactly what he, because if you aim it high at Nichols, there's a chance that he might save it. Do you know what I mean? But he just drilled it in low, and we deserved the lead. We still deserved the lead because the football we were playing and the way certain players were playing, we it's just we deserved.
Every time we go forward. Every time we went forward, you felt something was going to happen. And, what I haven't even said, the first goal, like, big up Morris for getting the assist, but Ethan as well. He basically got the pre-assist if you count it like that. He's actually, sorry, his button, he's actually quite good at it. And I think because he hasn't had a lot to do and he hasn't he's made like, two spectacular saves, if you'd say. But he hasn't had, like,
I know it sounds bizarre because we've let in a lot of goals more than right, but most of that is defensive errors. There's nothing to do with him, and
Exactly.
they can't prevent some of them. Do you know what I mean? They're like 2 yards out and things, or whatever. Majority of the time. So,
Or they're really good finishes, like
once,
Hardy, for example.
because he's the last man. Do you know what I mean? So if you can't, like, if the defense starts playing well, then you'll notice, and then like someone will shoot, and then he'll be like in there, and then people will be appreciating him more. So
yeah,
at the moment, they know what they're doing. Nathan Jones has said Ice's been on the bench and stuff because he's ahead. He's looking really, really good in training and that. So he's slightly ahead of Macy and pushing Ethan. So, Ethan must be doing something right to still be getting picked. Let's put it that way. Like, just because you see it, if you look at and a couple of them are like freaky. You got penalty. Keep 9 times out of 10 or whatever they score. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
exactly.
The own goal, come on, he wouldn't have expected that. And then the last goal, we should have cleared it. Simple as that. Like, can't be. It's just too much for me. But yeah, and he's getting good at them assists as well.
Yeah, he is. He is. Most of his kicks the other night I thought were brilliant.
And he's still gelling in as well. Don't forget that. Do you know what I mean? He's not a Luton player. You know what I'm saying?
No, so, absolutely.
Some bit of credit.
No, I agree. But yeah, obviously, I remember saying on the vlog at half time when we're 3-2 up, because we're in a winning position. I do want to talk about Fred. It's one of them where, I'm just not sure about him playing in these positions when we're at home. Away, I think it suits him more. I look at games like Hull last year, and he was really good there. I always big him up for his performance. But I don't know, the last 2 times I've seen him there, obviously I went to the games as well, Coventry, and obviously this game, it's difficult because for me, because he's more of an attacking-minded player, you want to see him, he tries to go a lot higher up, which is obviously understandable. I just feel at times it does leave us a bit exploited. But what do you make of it all, Dad?
Yeah, I didn't really notice him too much. Apart from I think it was the 3rd goal. I think it was either him or Pelly had the opportunity to header it away, before it was a corner. And one of them didn't, or they headed it on, and then the other one put it out for a corner when he didn't really need to. So he was involved in that, but he's not normally in that position.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. That's why I say it's a difficult one.
But it is what it is. We've got players out. We're trying to protect players as well. You can see that this season.
Yeah,
that's why he's doing it, because it caught up with us in the end of last year. Let's be honest. If Adebayo was fit, the way we played against Huddersfield, if he was playing, we probably would have beaten. Probably.
What in the second leg?
Both.
Yeah, I definitely think the second leg with the amount of chances we had. I remember saying in that game, I don't know if I said it on British Chapter channel or mine, I probably said it on both. I said, if we had Elijah that game, we'd have been fine. Because you got to remember, we were reliant on him last season because we had to be. We had to be.
Exactly,
Cornick, he's improved his finishing, but you saw in that game, his finishing sometimes is not there. I don't want to go on a bag about that game, but that's what I will say. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And the first leg, probably as well. Yeah, actually, in fact, yeah. Even their fans, the real ones, they'll tell you,
they'd have been glad that he wasn't playing. And he
exactly. And I've heard some of their fans say, he deserves to go through, but that's in the history books now. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's always another chance to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously, might as well just go to the second half and obviously talk about that 3rd goal, like you said. I looked at it back, of course. Yeah, it's an annoying one because the guy who's actually scored, no one's actually watching him at all. It's annoying in that sense. And obviously a lot of people going on about, the way you got it out and that. The thing is, I don't actually remember it. But obviously, you've sort of reminded me now of it. But yeah, until you said that, I couldn't really remember it.
Yeah, just swung, got the corner and just swung it to the far post and like
Yeah, the goal, yeah.
in front of it.
Yeah,
Sort of kind of come off the player's knee or something, or Pelly's knee, and then the geezer just took advantage and just banged it in or something like that. It was.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna be too harsh on Pelly. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
I thought he was all right. Other than that, I thought his passes were wicked.
He was spraying some.
They were like Lansbury sort of passes, mate.
Yeah, he was spraying some good passes. He's nowhere near match fit. Obviously, you need to give him the minutes, and you can't like, all right, we put him on. Who else was we going to put on?
Exactly. You're not gonna
T. And then if he'd have done the same, you'd have been slated.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then you wouldn't have done that. No.
Unlucky that really. That's the effects. You've got to be a certain level in a championship. Any weakness like that does get exposed, and that's all it is. But he'll get his time. Lansbury was taken off because he's played a couple of games. He's 30,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was about to say that.
Championship. He said he was flagging at half time and that they just didn't feel like he had the same energy, so that took him off. But Pelly's got a half there. Expect to see him more anyway. So
yes, no, absolutely. I didn't think it was too bad. I'll put it out there. I think a lot of people very critical. To be honest, and like I say, we do this a lot. I don't, but a lot of people do this a lot. And
he's played one half of football this season.
Exactly.
Like I've seen other players perform a lot worse this season than that. 100%. But it wasn't even a poor performance anyway. Like just
why
rid of that.
Right, it's ridiculous. I can't be asked to go for it. Big up Will, by the way. He is actually a West Brom fan. He says, easy win for you guys tomorrow. Not confident at all. What I will say, mate, the last person that said that, they said that, and we ended up drawing the game. And obviously that was
maybe it's the same tactic.
Yeah. But big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. I was going to see if he'd come on, but he's about to have his tea. So that's fair enough. I thought Macy's a panic buy in all seriousness. It was just one of them where we needed an extra keeper. Was it really the right decision? I don't know.
It's hard to get keepers.
Yeah.
It'd been there before, and like we knew what was going. We knew when we signed him, Nathan Jones already kind of said that straight away before. Well, we're signing two keepers, so you know what's going on there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Big up Wolf. He says, big up the Hatters. Blue Terrier. There you go. There's a Huddersfield fan. I was thinking, where are they at? I know they wanted to come in, but he's giving it to Jacko. Obviously scored the third goal. Pelly only done what he could do. Split decision. Yeah, like I said, I think people are being way too harsh on him, to be honest with you. Like I said, Dad, he's played 45 minutes. You know what I mean? It just annoys me. But anyway, we'll move on from that. What we're going to now is obviously player ratings. So obviously we'll start off with Ethan in goal. Again, another player I saw a lot of people being very critical of, saying, he doesn't come out and come on. I've seen it plenty of times. What? He didn't for the set pieces. Well, we should have defended better at the end of the day. We're not marking players, and that's what's going to happen.
Come up for them set pieces. Like the first one, it was just whipped in like in a certain angle. Like if he'd come out of that and missed it.
Yeah, exactly. The penalty, like I said, it's difficult to say most penalties, especially against an experienced player like Rhodes, most of the time. And then obviously the third goal, like I said, should have defended it better. So for him, I'll go for 7. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I think I agree. I was going to give him a 6.5, right? But then I remembered the assist. So
yeah, and that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and his distribution was pretty decent, you know. And he weren't no calamity, put it that way. I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stephen's gone with 6.5. It's fair enough. I was thinking that, but I'm going to go with 7 due to that assist or 3 assists, whatever the hell you want to call it. Moving on to the next player, we'll go with Bree. Considering he was playing on the right side, which he can do a job there, but obviously we prefer him as a wing back. Obviously, he done well, you know, especially on that third goal. You know, he got into team of the week as well. Again, I'll give another 7.
It's
Then again, we did concede 3. I'm not saying that's all down to him.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I think the position, obviously, he don't normally play in that position. Let's be honest, you know, but he'll still play there and do a reasonable job there. Do you know what I mean? But it's not his natural position. Yeah, he got 4. He got that assist basically, which was good. I don't know, like who was on that side to be heading it away. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking about that a couple of times. So. That's normally the centre back's jobs anyway, isn't it? So I don't know. It's hard to be harsh on him. I'm going to give him a 7 as well.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Jackie's gone Bree 8. Interesting. Like I said, you know, like you say, you don't want to be too critical on him because that's not his main position. And I thought he done well there. You know,
yeah, that's
like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying.
on the third goal, and you're the same. So, Stephen says, Bree, excellent, 100% Tuesday. Looked deflated at final whistle. And that's because he's worked very hard, especially in that position. 7.8, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. And then moving on to the next player, we will go with Lockyer. I said obviously we conceded 3. I can't really remember too much from Lockyer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Not in a bad or all good way, you know, in that sense. So I'll go with did concede 3. I probably will go with I don't know. It's difficult. This one. It's difficult. I'll probably go with a 6.
Yeah, same. Pretty like
Thinking that or a 6.5. But I'll go with 6.
I thought. So yeah, and yeah, some of us we ain't got to blame someone. Do you know what I mean? But when you're thinking about it like this and discussing it like this, then you can kind of see. Do you know what I mean? So I'll give him a 6 as well.
Lockyer positions were all wrong, but tried hard. 6.4. No, I'd agree. Lockyer 7.5. Interesting. Moving on to the next player. Excuse me. We'll do Potts. Obviously had on the armband yet again. By the way, that was his 200th appearance, I believe. Yes, it was, in fact, because I watched a video about it all earlier. Big up to him. You know, like I said, he's massively underappreciated, in my opinion. Yeah, you can see in some games he's not like, you know, like, who was it? Coventry, the first goal. It wasn't too great there. But you've got to remember how long this guy's been at the club. And it's the same for players like I said. I give him massive credit. Because for me, if they wanted to, they could have easily left. And, you know, I mean, and on Potts' interview, I don't know if you watched it yet, Dad, but he was saying how, like, he weren't sure where he was going to fit in because the amount of numbers we started having, you know, he wasn't sure. And that was last season. Like I said to you, I thought his last game was going to be against Middlesbrough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very poor in that game, I'm not going to lie, especially in the first half, first 45 minutes. I'm sure he'd probably tell you that himself. You know, but I'll say he deserves credit in that sense for me. And to be honest, when he goes, it's going to happen at some point. It's going to be, you know, I'm going to be a little bit upset. I'm not going to lie. Because, you know, he has been a good player for the club most of the time. You know, it's one of the rare players. I think it's only him and Ruddock. And obviously, you know, the OGs like Cornet, but, you know, the oldest ones that have been there for the longest. You know, so I think he deserves, you know, quite a bit of credit, to be honest. But yeah, this game like I said, obviously we conceded 3. Again, I'll go with another 6.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. He's just reached his ceiling, isn't he? He's not, he's a decent championship defender, but he's not a great. You know what I'm saying? He's too inconsistent, and that it's against the better players we're struggling. And I think that's part of. They're not switched on as well. I don't think, because you've got to have that intelligence as well, extra in the championship. Do you know what I mean? I just think he's played at a low level for too long.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Basically, Hanno sent me a flipping video. Didn't tell me that the sound was flipping.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
basically, it's for the penalty. But yeah, sorry.
So yeah, like that's what I think. But you can't say that he don't commit and he doesn't try. You know what I mean? So he puts in the effort and he does put out some good performances, but he's just kind of unreliable a little bit at this level, I think. And we need to get that position sorted ASAP. Do you know what I mean? Because if he gets injured as well,
yeah,
who we put in there?
Exactly.
So we need to January. We're going to, if anyone gets injured before then see another loan coming in potentially. But yeah, 6.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Same as me. Jackie's gone Potts 6.5. Fair enough. Potts trying to back Lockyer up and mopping up too much for one man. 7.7. Interesting. Sent you the angles. Yeah, let me just quickly, I suppose, like I said, the third angle's like the one we saw. The other two, I don't know. Would you make of this? If you can see it, all right.
What's this for?
The penalty.
I think it's just one of them. It's just he's jumping in it as well slightly. He's a penalty, but it's just jammy.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Spencer as well. He says, "Hey T, does he? Hanno, Mystic, and everyone else. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself." But yeah, so obviously that was Potts' rating. Moving on to, we'll do Bell first out of the wing backs actually. Again, can I really remember too much from Bell? Can't remember an awful lot, but I'm not gonna say too much because, he has, fair play to him for playing in that whole game. When he keeps starting the knees, it's gonna play a part at some point, in my opinion. So yeah, with him, I'll just another 6 really.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't think he was that bad, but again, I don't think he was his usual self. If that makes sense, a little bit. I think he's probably going to be rested in the next game. I'll give him a 6.5.
Fair enough. Bell 7. Hanno's doing it as well. Bell looked tired, but still okay for me. Yeah, exactly. It's one of them, wasn't it? 7.3. Bell 6.5, says Jackie. Fair enough. And then moving on to the other side, which is obviously Fred. Like I say, it's not his natural position. I don't know. I just feel he's a lot better with it when we play away. A lot of times in that first half, he just weren't quite getting onto things. I remember, not so great by him. I'm not going to lie, but like I said, it's not his main position. I'll go with a 5.5.
I just feel like you say, it's not his main position, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But I didn't really notice him too much in that game, apart from when he burst forward and got shoved off the ball. I don't think it's a penalty. I think he might have been looking for it a bit, to be honest with you. I'm just going to give him a 6.
Fair enough. Fred 6.5. That's it, Jackie. Whoa, Stephen's rating. Jeez. Thought mine was bad.
Yeah.
He said Fred can't play there ever again. 2.5. Like I said, I think he plays all right there away, but I just think at home, especially if how we've been at home, I don't know. I don't know with it, to be honest. But yeah, moving on to the next players, we'll do Campbell. I thought he was all right in the midfield again, but not too great, but not too bad. I'll go over 6.5.
Is it? No, I'll give him. I think he's done all right. You know, connected the dots and stuff like that. But I don't think he was a standout player. But he was decent enough. I'll give him a 7.
Fair enough. Spencer said, like the streams, guys, and subscribe if you aren't already yet. Please do. If you haven't already, big up yourself for that as well. Stephen says, no tie, never home or away again. Jesus. Campbell 7.5. Fair enough. Moving on to the next player, which was, and obviously Stephen's gone there, 7. He says, Mr. Consistent. Moving on to Lansbury. Like I said, obviously come off at half time. Like you say, he's 30, he's getting on a bit, but he's still, very good option that we have in this game. Again, I don't think it was too bad from him. Done some good passes. He's very good at switching the ball like that. And obviously, done some of them again in this game. It was all right in the middle, I'd say. Not too bad. I'll give Lansbury a 7.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I think he was faded. Obviously, he ain't going to put the same performance level as he did in the previous game because it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes. And we've still got that little hoodoo thing at home as well, which doesn't help. But yeah, he only played 45 minutes in it. So I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackie agrees with me. Lansbury 7. Lansbury is the man. Can't do 90 every game, so keeping him healthy. Yeah, exactly. 7.2. Hanno's got Lansbury 6. Campbell 5. What?
That's it. It's all about, opinions and stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, moving on to the other midfielder, which obviously ahead of him, Clark. Like we say, that is his best suited position out of that 3 in the middle. Obviously he's the higher up one. Brilliant from him. Like I said, he's definitely up there for a man of match shout. For me, the 2 ones that are up there are him and Elijah. They're the main 2 for me. Like I said, had a few chances before the goal. Obviously, he took the goal very well. That shot he had, by the way, I have to admit, as much as Nichols is an idiot, that was a good save by him, because that's a very good strike by Clark. But yeah, good performance from him. The way we say it every week, the way he can bring a ball down and do something with it is just absolutely phenomenal. You saw that a few times in this game as well. So yeah, like I say, definitely up there for a shout for man of the match. I'm going to give him, what rating am I going to give him? Do you know what? I'm going to go over 8.5.
That's exactly what I was going to give him.
Yeah.
That's the best performance of the season from him, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's getting better every game. This is what he's capable of. And he's shooting more from outside the area. He's going to score a banger soon from there. His passing was good. He was just on it, switched on, and he had a lot to do for that goal still. Didn't panic. Great finish. And he was just all over the place, So, yeah, great performance from him. 8.5.
There you go. Jackie says Clark 8. That's fair enough. Hanno always gets confused with this. He says, wait, is Campbell a cam or a DM/CM? A DM/CM, I would say. That's probably, I'd count it as both. Because when he's in that midfield, he tends to be the deepest one most of the time. Unless well, to be fair, when Lansbury's been in there, it's been a bit.
Playing, but yeah, he's not. But he can play it attacking as well.
Yeah, it's one of them. But I'd say more of a DM/CM in that aspect. Clark's best performance so far, good goal as well, 8. Yeah, no, absolutely. Clark 8, Hanno says as well, a lot of 8s. Blue Terrier says Ben Jackson was Huddersfield's best player in my opinion. Fair enough. Changing to 8.5 says Jackie. Fair enough. And then moving on to the front two. We'll start off with Morris. Like I said, didn't quite get a goal in this game, but still another brilliant performance from him. Obviously got an assist. And he looked good again. As for Morris, I'm going to give him an 8.
Oh, yeah. He was really good. But I just feel like Clark, we're getting a bit, used to that now, so it's easy to give him. But, Clark, for me, just outshone him a little bit. But he was still really good and unselfish. Do you know what I mean? Looking for Adebayo as well. Like I said before, he's got that team spirit. He's gelled in really well at Luton. I'm going to give him an 8, yeah.
Stephen says Morris, good positioning, hard working, 7.9. No, absolutely. Morris 8. Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie agrees with us there. And then moving on to the other striker. Yes, Elijah. Come on. 2 goals for him. I'm counting them both as his goals. Like I said, I'm not saying my reasoning again for the first one. Second one, there's no debate, of course. But yeah, brilliant by him. The turn, the control. Morris's control as well was phenomenal, by the way. I remember a pass over to him in the first half and he kept it on. That was a brilliant touchdown. Even if I was like, him and Elijah very good at doing that. But yeah, Elijah, good performance from him. Like I say, him and Clark, they're the main 2 that are up there for man of the match for me. And I'm going to give it to Adebayo as my man of the match. Obviously, yours is Clark, isn't it, Dad?
No, I ain't finished yet.
Oh, you ain't finished yet? What, you changed it?
Yeah, from what we discussed earlier. What rating did you give Adebayo?
I'm about to do it now. I'm going to go with a 9. I'm going to go with a 9 because he's my man of the match. So I'm going to go with a 9.
Yeah, he is. For me, because I was thinking about he scored the 2 goals, right? He also was under pressure, and he was equalised both them times as well.
True.
And he had a lot to do, and he's confident from the whole game. You could see that he was smiling again and stuff like that. And that's the thing. We noticed that there was something, not quite right with him. And now, he said since the international break, he's been a lot happier and settled and you can see that. And that's just made such a massive difference. And you got to credit him for that as well.
Exactly.
I don't know what all the issues were. It's probably, like I say, a combination of other people coming in, like whatever personal issues. But still got to balance them. You know what I mean? Like, they're not robots, these guys. They're human beings. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
I was really pleased, and I thought, he had a lot to do. The pressure was on it. He could have had a hat trick as well. So I'm giving him my man in the match as well with a straight 9.
Yeah. Yep. No, absolutely. What everyone else reckon? He's magic. I was going to say
that as well. He loved that as well. You could see him geeing up the crowd and
exactly. Yeah, that was sick. Sick. But yeah, 8. Okay, fair enough. Elijah 9. Absolutely agree with us there. Clark's my man. Like I said, it's close between them 2.
Between them 2 for me.
Very close, 100%. And then not even far behind them, like you said there. Bree as well's up there. It shows with the team of the week, in my opinion. When do they ever really put our players in? They put the odd one.
Someone's going to get put to the sword very soon, especially at home as well. It's definitely going to happen. But
yeah, exactly. And I was saying this to you off this, weren't I, Dad? Colton was brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
That's
the whole players were, but I think he was the main sort of standout. Trying to set up.
Isn't he? He's the record signing striker, and Adebayo was the man. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's, who knows if that affected him or whatever? It probably did. It would have affected me slightly, psychologically a little bit. But listen, they could end up being a very dangerous pair of strikers, mate. I'll tell you that.
And you got to even add to that mixed Cornick. You know, we've said it already, but Cornick, you know, there's another option.
We've let in a silly amount of goals, and once that stops,
yeah, you said this earlier.
the challenge is going to change. You know.
Yeah.
We've been the best this season, and we're still in and around the playoffs. So
yeah, exactly.
Above Watford.
Yeah. We had to get that one in. Adebayo's smile, love to see it. No, I was very happy. You know, like we said, when we first saw it against Hull, even on the watch long, I was loving that, man. Not gonna lie. But yeah, there's them, and then obviously we do the players that come on. Obviously, you know, it's only right that we start off with Ruddock, because obviously that's the first one. For Lansbury, and also quickly Elijah Adebayo as well. I remember him and Fred went down, but Elijah was proper limping at the end of the first half.
Yeah,
I thought,
he got kicked
my god,
or something. That's what it was.
Yeah, especially with him after getting them goals, but he turned out to be all right and, you know, carried on. So big up to him for that as well, because it probably looked like he was in pain. It's probably one of them, you know, for a good 5-10 minutes, them sort of ones. But yeah, big up to him as well for that. But yeah, Ruddock obviously come on for Lansbury, like we said. Ruddock, yeah, like I said, I don't think he was too bad. Yeah, maybe he could have done better on the third goal, you know, corner. I can't really remember it, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I remember, you know, the defending wasn't so great on the goal. I just can't remember how they actually got the corner. Not going to lie. But yeah, some of his passing was exceptional. You know, he done it a few times. Not even like he done one lucky one. You know, he done it a few times. Yeah, I don't think it was too bad, to be honest. I'm going to go for 7.
Yeah, I'll give him again. I'll give him the same as I think. No, actually, what do I give Lansbury?
Good question.
7, I think. But
I think it was.
You know, yeah, he could have done better for the goal, but it's not, you know, it's not a major issue for me. Like, still coming back and out. I thought he'd done all right, generally. Spraying the ball about the pitch. You know, he done what you know. It wasn't like it was just what it is. You come back from a long injury. I don't think he was terrible at all. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ruddock, no fault for the corner, just lack of communication from Fred. 6.5. Yeah, exactly. Pelly 6.5 as well, says Jackie. Fair enough. And then moving on to the next player that come on. Well, we'll do these two at the same time, you know, which obviously Bradley and Cornick. I had a feeling it was going to be Lockie. I'll move over to the right, Bradley in the centre. Can I really... I don't know if I can really say too much about Bradley, because I can't really remember too much from him. Cornick, I remember him coming on and having that very good chance. Oh, damn it. If only it went straight through the middle. If that was, you know, if he went for a corner, you know, I reckon obviously he would have scored. Bradley, I'm just going to give a 6. As for Cornick, I'm going to give a 6.5, because he was trying to make things happen, and his pace to get him behind is very good, as we know. But yeah, it's just that chance. It's a little bit gutted. But what would you give him?
Yeah, exactly the same. You know, we didn't concede after they come on. I can't remember what. You know, I think there's still 10 minutes or something to go, or maybe more. But they've done all right, and yeah, Cornick was lively. So yeah, I'll give Bradley out of the 6, but I expect him to start the next game. And I'll give Cornick a 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Both 6, fair enough. I was thinking that, but I'll give Cornick slightly higher. And like I said, if he scored that chance, probably would have jumped up to 7. Hannah's got a question. I'll let you see what you want to say about it first. Why have Luton underperformed?
And what, in this game, or I don't think underperformed.
Just the whole season, I think. The whole season. He means
we was the same last season. It's just
we actually was. Yeah.
The thing is, for me, I think we've signed. You know, we signed some more. It happens when you sign players. It takes some time to gel in and stuff. I'm not really going to say we've underperformed. I think defence possibly, but we haven't. We was our defence was pretty decent last season, and as we're saying, we keep saying we can, Naismith, but it kind of was pretty decent last season. Do you know what I mean? And we haven't got that reassurance that we kind of had in defence. And it weren't necessarily his defending; it was his composure on the ball and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And his quick in his passing, right? Things like that. We ain't got that at the back at the moment, and I wouldn't say we've underperformed. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, we've got the smallest budget in the Championship. Apparently, everyone else we're overperforming every time we're in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't even be there and all this. So, nah. I'd say we're performing as well as can be expected at the moment, and it's just going to get better. We've got good. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyone
everyone's like you in the chat.
Not judges us on the size of our stadium, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. People that do that.
After these fans, 10, 20, 30, 20 years ago, their stadiums are worse than ours, mate.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll do all right. So, like I said before, as soon as the defence gets settled, we get a settled defence, we'll be all right. We'll definitely be all right. But we'll be at least in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. And everyone agrees with you in the comments. Obviously, Luton fans said we're doing okay. We'll continue to improve. Absolutely. It will come together. So what I mean. Hanno says, so is it the squad mostly being unsettled?
Yeah, I mean, look, Campbell, when he first joined, it took him a while to get.
It does with our players.
I mean, some players.
When he first.
Yeah, some players it doesn't. They're all getting used to the keeper, and they ain't really done anything wrong on that. But they'll that's what it is. Just the new players, really. There's a lot of competition as well. Which some of the players didn't even have last season.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them still haven't got now, which they might have had last season as well. Like, there's guaranteed names on the team sheet because of the backup they haven't got. As you saw, if Breeze, playing at right back, we're playing Fred there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When
Kioso obviously we need to cover them, two defensive positions still for me.
No, exactly.
And then we'd be at that top level in the Championship for me. I expect a couple of players to come in definitely in January, but if not before then, if there's any injuries or whatever.
Yeah, no, 100%. Stephen Bennett, I think he's been on my channel once in the chat. I think it's for Championship predictions. This is West Brom for relegation.
I don't think so. I think what'll happen is Bruce will be sacked.
Yeah, I agree.
And they'll get someone in, they'll just pick up because they have got the players. They're obviously not playing for him at the moment, and hopefully that's to our advantage tomorrow. But I think they'll be all right. They ain't going to go down. Can you imagine?
No, I agree.
They're too big to go. They've got too big, but their squad is too good to go down, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look at the signings they've done in the window, and we'll get onto the game in a minute. But I don't understand why they got Bruce in the first hand, to be quite honest here. But obviously we'll get into that. Luton to be Bruce's chopping block game. Yeah, Steve, that's it. He's a Birmingham fan. Yeah, I remember, It's Birmingham for bottom four.
No, I think Birmingham have slowly turning the, tide. They're definitely improved more than they have last season or previous. I think so. Anyway.
Yeah, I said it. I said it before the season. I said this is where I think they're in the best position where they're
definitely in the top 16 at least. I think they'll
I don't know what Hanno's been on. He's been saying this since the start. To be fair, there is always one team, but I don't think it will be Birmingham.
No, you never know.
But if you do get that right, fair play. And to be fair, he said Swansea won't do great. They're doing, well, I mean, at least they beat the scum. But other than that, they've been a bit average. So, yeah. But there's that. And obviously, that's all the player ratings. So, obviously, both give Elijah man of the match. You know,
1 second.
Yeah, no worries. Players are close, like obviously Clark, Bree's not too far behind Clark, but yeah, that's that. That's enough said about that game. And yeah, moving on to the game tomorrow. Obviously, 3:00 kickoff, like always on Saturdays, unless we're early kickoff, which obviously we're not. Taking on West Brom away. So yeah, there you go. Obviously we got West Brom. I'll say my thoughts going into it while I wait for Dad. I'm feeling pretty confident, to be fair. You know, obviously a lot of pressure on Steve Bruce at West Brom. You know, a lot of teams have gone there and won. I think they haven't won their last 9 games, if I'm correct. It's something mad like that, you know. And that was against Hull. I know their last win was definitely against Hull, which was a 5-2. But Hull, they're just a very hit and miss side this season. Could we sack another manager? Obviously, I put on the title, sack Bruce, ? Can we sack another manager? We was about to sack Hull's manager, but they pushed the button before, which didn't make sense to me because they had the whole of the international break, but they decided to do it on game day, which was very weird to me. Yeah, like I said, I'm feeling confident. You know, I record that West Brom's not too great, but then again, I remember when we played Millwall last season and we didn't beat them away since 1999. We went there and won 2-0, and it was pretty convincing, to be honest with you. Cornet obviously scored double, so I'm feeling pretty confident going into it. You know, I think we could get Bruce sacked. And we have a history of sacking managers. But Dad, talk to me. How are you feeling going into this game?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, we ain't got a great record there, but you know, I think they were like in the Premier League a lot then, or you know what I mean, or we was like in leagues. But do you know what I'm saying? They were just better than us. We've gave them good games recently. Let's be honest. They still managed to get that win. And this is the thing, like if the players really want Bruce there, they're going to make that extra effort, I think. And I think if we score early, I think we'll beat them.
I agree.
I think the fans will turn.
Be similar to Hull in that aspect.
Yeah, and that'll be the final curtain. That's it. They've already had chats with him apparently, and like this would be, you know, because we're considered minnows in the football world, which is complete bollocks. They show them we're not. You know, maybe this is the game we can give someone a good hiding. But no, that's what I think. I'm quite confident. I can't see us losing.
No.
Unless it's some scrappy, like controversial nonsense. I just can't see it. Just think that the players are going to be up for it. There's nothing to fear. It's obviously not working out there for him. And you know they should be a lot higher with the squad they've got. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let me go through some comments before we go into the next bit. I said in my prediction stream, sticking with it. P.S. Geez, I ain't heard anyone say that in a while. I didn't know about the championship then, and still don't know a lot. Not exactly. You know, you're learning. You know, Swansea and Birmingham need to switch places in the table. Oh, dear. 3-1 to the Hatters. That would be a very, very nice win. I'd like that. Stephen says 2-0. I'd like that as well. 2-0 Jackie's gone with. Stephen says tricky going to Hawthorns, but I think we're going slightly favourites and not really playing for him exactly. Teams like Luton moment. Yeah, facts. And big up Harry in the chat as well. So there you go. And he's saying also, evening lads, I reckon 1-1 or 2-1 Luton to Moz. Fair enough. To be fair, obviously me and Harry do a predictions thing. And other than last week, we actually tend to do all right. We're the top 2 in it. So there you go. But yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. But yeah, obviously that's how we're feeling going into it. League standings. Actually, let me mention the games last year. You briefly mentioned them. I completely forgot. Obviously, like I said, narrowly lost 3-2 at their ground. I remember it was, we started performing a bit later on in games, and we've done that. I think we've done that twice last year that I can think of from the top of my head. Middlesbrough away, we've done that as well. And obviously this game, Ruddock scored in that game. I can't remember who scored the other goal, but I know Ruddock scored.
Cornick.
Yeah, I think it might have been. And then obviously the game at home, 2-0, very good performance. I remember watching that. I didn't go to any of the games last year against West Brom, but yeah, I remember Campbell scored a very good goal. And Jerome, I think it was, who scored the other goal in that game. I'm pretty sure. I think he scored like a header or something, if I'm correct. So, both beat each other once last year. Obviously, league table, obviously we're 10th as it stands. If we go on to win this game, depending on other results, we can jump into maybe 5th, depending on what Burnley do. They've got Coventry away. West Brom, obviously, 22nd. Obviously, if they win this, depending on what Stoke and Blackpool and a few others do, they could be out of the relegation zone. But yeah, obviously, they're 22nd as it stands. And that sort of thing. So, like I said, a lot of pressure on Bruce. We have a history of sacking managers as well. Like I said, we'd have probably done it if Holes, but they decided to push the button on match day, which just didn't make sense considering there's an international break. That's what I'm going to say about that. What we'll do now is obviously go into the lineup that we would play tomorrow. So obviously we'll do what we usually do. If it wants to actually come up. There we go. So I'm going to go with the 5-2-1-2 as it is on here. It's obviously the formation we play most of the time. Change it up every once, But yeah, Ethan in goal, obviously. Actually, hold up. No, this ain't the one, actually. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, Ethan in goal. Defense, I'm gonna go Potts on the left side. I'm gonna go Bradley through the middle.
It's not that formation.
Oh yeah. Where's it gone? It's that one. There we go. Cheers for that. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bradley. And then on the right side, I'm going to go Lockyer. We did see this back three briefly the other day for a little bit, obviously when Bradley come on. And then right wing back, I'm going to put Bree back there. Left wing back, I'm going to go... Do you know what? I'm going to go Doherty.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with him. I feel Bell needs a rest, especially, he's played a lot of games. Obviously, he was in America as well. I'd bench him for this game. I'd start Doherty. I would, actually. Midfield, I would go... Campbell, obviously. There he is. I'm gonna go Ruddock on the right. Now, I know a lot of Luton fans probably won't agree with me there, but at the end of the day, it's opinions, and I also feel he'd done all right against West Brom both times last year, especially the away game. Obviously scored. So I'm going to go with him. And I feel Lansbury, like we said, sometimes he needs a rest. And I feel this is a game where he could be rested in that sense. As the cam, I'm going to go Clark. Still not sure. I'm not sure if Freeman will be on the bench. Hopefully he is. But, Clark's performance the other day, I feel you've got to go with him. Excuse me. And then the front two probably speaks for itself, doesn't it, after the other day? And that's, of course, Adebayo and Morris. Dad, would you make any changes to that?
No.
You agree? Spot on.
Yeah, because I feel that Bell probably will be rested in this game. Doughty's, he's got to start sometimes. You know what I mean? He's a decent prospect, good player, and that's the position we saw him in against West Ham, I believe. So
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
at some point, yeah, I mean, if concerning things like West Brom have got some good players, if they get, Potts is there to kind of, mop up really, because Doughty, he will be going forward more. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah, Bradley, I'd definitely bring Bradley back. Lockie is good in that position as well. When Burke was injured last season, Lockyer played in that position. And I would start Ruddock as well. Maybe even just for a half and then swap him with Lansbury or Berry, whatever, or change up the midfield and have Freeman come on, put Clark there, and then, you can't be dropping it. Morris, definitely not. And Adebayo scored 2 goals in the last game. Do you know what I mean? Unless he's something wrong with his foot or whatever, he needs to start.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Big up Hanno, he says, going to go now. It's going to start my stream soon. Big up you two, always learning something when listening to this show. And prediction 1-1, just a gut feeling. Yeah, a few people have said 1-1, that's fair enough. But no, big up yourself. Don't know why I'm saying big up yourself like he's going to hear it, because I'll just see that he's live. But he'll probably look back at it. Saying replace Fred with Osho, maybe Doherty for Bell, as he looked very tired. Yeah, exactly. So you agree with Doherty there. Fred with Osho. Yeah, Osho's another option. I could see him coming on for Lockyer or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe even Bradley, and then put Lockyer in the middle and then Osho on the right, maybe. But I'm going to go with that lineup. And you agree with it, Dad? So big up yourself for that. Now it's that time. Score predictions. Like we said, we're both confident that we're not going to... Well, we're feeling confident in a way. We don't think we'll lose the game. Obviously, like I keep saying, a lot of pressure on Bruce. Can we sack Bruce? And like I said, we're known for it. Sacking managers. How do you see this one going?
I'd say, if we can get an early goal, then I think we could beat them, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be tough. They are good players. At some point away, we are going to not, do that well. And I can see it potentially being this game. We've got that hoodoo with them. We're beaten for a long time. But as I said, I just don't think we'll lose. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. And he'll still get the sack.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. 1-1. Interesting. Like I said, a lot of people have gone with that. As for my prediction, obviously, if you ain't seen it, in the community post in the championship predictions, I have backed Luton to win. I'm going to go over 2-1. I do think they'll score, but I do think they might. I think they might get the first goal, to be honest, and then we'll equalise shortly after. And then we might get a late goal, like 75th minute, something like that. I could see that sort of game. Goal scorers, Dad?
Well, it's only the one, isn't it? I'm going to go with... Doughty.
Interesting. I'm going to go... Do you know who I'm thinking is going to score? And he used to play for Aston Villa. I know it's not a biggest derby in the Midlands, but obviously it's Birmingham Villa. But when it comes to, he used to play for Villa, didn't he, Bree? I'm going to say he scores. I've got a feeling he's going to score in this game. I'm going to go James Bree and Morris. I'm going to go Morris to score. I think Elijah might get an assist for Morris. I reckon it'll be vice versa in that sense. And I reckon Bree will score. I don't know. I've got a feeling he's going to score a banger, to be honest. I don't think it'd be a free kick. I think it'd just, it'd be in normal play. It would just shoot and it would, I don't know, I've got a feeling it'll rifle into the roof of the net or something. So that's what I reckon. As for their goal scorer, I don't really know who really plays for them at the moment. I'll probably say the one they got from Millwall. Is it Wallace? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah,
I
they did.
can't remember.
Yeah, Jed Wallace.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
I don't
one.
know if he's fit though, but yeah, it's a good shout.
Stephen says, "Dad's time to end the voodoo."
It is. But you know, it's just worried about the defence at the moment. It's the only thing, and like they have got decent players, but we'll see. Like I said, if we go 1-0 up, 2-0 up in the first, 25 minutes or something, then I think we will beat them definitely in their heads. That'll be it. Be like that. Do you know what I mean? The players will be picking him up and taking him to the car park at the end of the game or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see. It'll be interesting to watch how they react, because there's something definitely wrong there.
Yeah, 100%. British chap, oi mug. This guy, man. He says, "You going to West Brom?" Unfortunately not, mate. Unfortunately not. But I'm going to say what we've announced at the end could be a possibility. Like I said, I don't even know. I haven't even told him yet. Another draw at this place. Luton had more trials than Brighton did last year. I think they had something like 15. Brighton had something mad, and they still finished 9th. I don't know. No, I understand where you're coming from. The main thing is, it depends what West Brom turn up, in that sense. Are they going to, I don't know. Are they going to play for him like you said? We have to see. We have to see. And obviously it depends how we turn up as well, but, we're a lot better away at the moment at home. Breed you another then tight. Yeah, I reckon. He's getting close in games this season as well. Bristol City, even though that game was shite, that free kick he had, that weren't too far off. Hull, weren't really too far off there either. So yeah, I reckon, and he's doing well. That third goal, like we said, against Huddersfield, I reckon he will, mate. We'll see though. We'll see. Does we're all worried about the defence? Yeah, hopefully they're on job. It can't be no flipping Bristol City vibes. Trust me.
Yeah.
We've just got to be positive. No, absolutely. British chap, damn. Yeah, I know, mate. I wanted to go. But unfortunately I can't. But yeah. Had a ticket for West Brom, but I had to return it. Other commitments. Fair enough, mate. I will be watching it, obviously. 100%. Really know the drill. But yeah, that is that. That is everything said. Dad, is there any final thoughts you want to say before I say what I was going to say?
Just know that if we get the early goal, I think that they could get a good Arden. That'd be nice for us to be doing that. That's it. Just keep supporting the mighty Luton Town.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the announcement, not 100%, but we're going to try and make something sorted for it. Me and British chap, obviously, we both can't attend the Watford game. So I think I might go on his channel and do the pre-recorded thing that he does. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that will be would be scenes. Because I don't want to watch a game of that magnitude by myself. Do you know what I mean? Both the YouTubes were, they'd just be sick. It was me and you last year, me and British chap this year. I just think that'd be boss. And then we could do stuff for both our channels.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. Definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're planning to do that. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get it sorted nearer the time. Well, I say nearer the time, it's this month. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get something sorted for it, where we're doing it and that sort of thing. But yeah, we just spoke about that before we went live. So I wanted to let you lot know for that. And yeah, there'll most likely be match reactions on the channel, because I'm not doing a watch long or anything, because obviously it won't be on time. And obviously I'm on this channel doing a thing anyway. So yeah, wanted to release that. But yeah, big up everyone. Really enjoyable episode yet again. Obviously episode 62. Not sure if we're going to do match reaction tomorrow yet. But either way, we'll react on the next Hatter show. Not sure when that'll be, because obviously we don't play during this midweek. Our next game after that is obviously QPR on the what's that, on the Saturday 12:30 kickoff. It's not even on TV, is it?
I don't know. Maybe if it's.
I don't think it is for a 12:30 kickoff. I'm a little bit. It must be another game on, but no, it's interesting. It's interesting. But even if there's like a Premier League game, it would have been on BT. Yeah, it doesn't say we are, which is interesting. It says our next game that's on the red button is Norwich. Now, obviously, Reading's obviously at home, which is interesting. But yeah, that will be interesting. I'll see if I go to that one. Not sure yet. Not sure. But big up everyone. That has been episode 62 of the Hat Show. And no TV. That's a bit crap then. Obviously, I still watch it, but it's just, it's a bit dead. I was going to do a watch on if I don't go. But yeah, take care, T, Duzzy, British Chat, Stephen, Werewolf, Hannah, and everyone else. And yourself, mate. Big up yourself, like always. Big up everyone that's been in the chat. Don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. We ended up on 14 likes so far. I know a lot of people watch this back as well, so big up yourselves for that. Yeah, like I said, maybe match reactions tomorrow. I don't know. I might do a poll tonight and see what you lot, if you lot want to see it or not. And then we'll get something sorted tomorrow if that's the case. But other than that, doing a watch along on Sunday to a Premier League game, Liverpool Arsenal, obviously big game in the Premier League, biggest game of the weekend. So yeah, share the channel, smash a like, subscribe, all of that. If you want to follow me across any of my socials, links to them are in the description. And yeah, big up yourselves. And until next time, take care and peace.